Well, despite the talk of a trade war, China remains a big trading partner with the U.S.
Those trade ties extend here to the valley and could affect local beef and grain producers. Channel 5's Frank McCaffrey reports.
A new report from the United States Department of Agriculture states that China's grown dramatically as an importer of American agricultural products since 2010. One local member of the agricultural community says he knows this well and is working to keep up with its demands. Mike Risica got into the beef production and grains trading business 30 years ago at his feed yard in San Manuel. He says at that time, China wasn't a nation anyone in the valley even thought about doing business with.
The whole other country and all of our cattle went here in Texas.
A lot's changed. He says China's grown as a customer in the grain trade. He says almost everyone in that industry here in the valley is adjusting to doing business with China. Now, he says much of the cattle he sends to packing plants ends up being imported by the eastern nation.
Cattle, they just began about a year ago, and that is a huge market that we hope to get our teeth into.
He says China's growing status as an importer of American goods is and will continue to be a good way for valley farmers, producers, or traders to make more money. He says there are challenges in working with the nation.
They do have a lot of regulations compared to the other, like Mexico, Japan, South Korea, Canada are our biggest importers of American beef. But China, we hope someday will be number one. But it is going to take time because they have a lot more requirements on what they want, what they need, and it costs a lot more to get beef in there than the other countries.
Channel 5 News reached out to Texas A&M agricultural economics professor Luis Rivera to ask whether valley farmers should focus more on China. He says they should, but be cautious.
We've been sending quite a bit of grain and beef. However, right now we're in a trade dispute between China and the U.S. on a tariff for different products.
Rivera adds the tariffs China placed on sorghum imports as part of the trade dispute is greatly taking down the amount of the product we'll export to the nation. Rivera adds that despite the trade war, China is now a large client for the United States. He says China has the second largest economy on earth and the largest population in the world. This means it has a lot of people it needs to import agricultural products for. In the Channel 5 News studio, Frank McCaffrey, Channel 5 News.
You just heard Frank mention ag exports to China are big in most cases. This is a Channel 5 News Extra. Risica, you just heard in Frank's report, says 13% of beef produced in the U.S. is exported. China is new to importing U.S. beef, receiving about 3%. The USDA reports corn exports are projected to increase in the future, while sorghum exports, because of higher tariffs, will decrease.